So far, so good.
It's in form of being proven to you. Drink, drink. All repeats are good. spiritual gifts. It's in 2, and it starts with that note.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise for the processional and remain standing? Good afternoon. For the 391st time, the Pennsylvania State University conducts commencement exercises. All are in their places. These exercises for the 2019 spring semester are hereby called to order. May I introduce Dr. Craig Newshafer, Raymond E. and Aaron Stewart Schultz, Dean of the College of Health and Human Development.
Please be seated. Please stand up. This is not Simon Says. This is my first commencement as dean of your college, so please bear with me. All right, thank you very much. We're going to open with our national anthem, led by Sadie Spivey from the School of Music, accompanied by the Center Brass Quintet. Okay, please be seated. It is truly wonderful to be here with you all for such a joyous occasion. Everyone here in this very large room has played a role in the achievements that we're celebrating today. To our graduates, first of all, you have my sincere admiration. I'm proud of every one of you. May you go on to fulfill your dreams and meet and exceed the expectations that we have for you. I predict you're going to make us even more proud as alumni. During your time here at Penn State, the College of Health and Human Development has prepared you to make a positive difference in the lives of individuals, families, and communities. Today, it is my privilege to introduce someone who's an outstanding example, somebody who is doing this every day in his life and in his work, Mr. Paul Kempinski. A little bit about Paul. Paul is President and Chief Executive Officer of Children's Mercy Hospital in Kansas City, Missouri. Children's Mercy was founded in 1897 and operates not-for-profit hospitals and numerous specialty clinics in Missouri and Kansas. It provides leading medical care for children from birth through age 21 and has been repeatedly ranked as one of America's best children's hospitals by U.S. News & World Reports. Paul has more than 3 decades of experience in healthcare. Prior to his current role, Paul served as president of the Nemours Alfred I. DuPont Hospital for Children in Wilmington, Delaware, and enterprise vice president for Nemours Children's Health System. He also served as chief operating officer before his promotion to president at AI DuPont. Prior to AI DuPont, Paul was chief operating officer of Mercy Fitzgerald Hospital in Darby, Pennsylvania. He also held senior leadership positions at Via Health in Rochester, New York, Jefferson Regional Medical Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Rush University Medical Center in Chicago, Illinois. Paul received his bachelor's degree in health planning administration from Penn State in 1982 and holds a master's degree in health systems management from Rush University. He's a fellow of the American College of Healthcare Executives, an alumnus of Leadership Philadelphia, and received the Rochester Business Journal's 40 Under 40 Award for professional achievement. Paul has served as chair of the board of directors for the Ronald McDonald House of Delaware, the board of directors of the Brandywine YMCA Association, and is on the advisory board of the undergraduate program here in Health Policy Administration in our college. In 2018, he was a recipient of the Alumni Fellow Award here at Penn State, the most prestigious award given by our Alumni Association. With that, I give you Paul.
Thank you, Dean Newshafer. Trustee Broadhurst, President Barron, Dean Newshafer, college and department leaders, faculty and staff, and most importantly, students and their families and friends, thank you for the honor of sharing this day and the opportunity to serve as commencement speaker on this special celebration of your accomplishments. Before I begin my comments, I want to offer a few very special shout-outs. First, to the faculty, staff, and graduating students of the program in Health Policy and Administration. As a graduate of this program, I am thankful for the incredible impact that many of you and this program have had on my life and my career. To the students, the academic training and immersion you have experienced in the field of healthcare will serve you well in your professional journey. I am now proud to call you colleagues. Second, to the graduating students from the program in Communication Sciences and Disorders. My daughter Jenny is among you today, and I will soon have the honor of greeting her as she comes on the stage to be recognized as a graduate. Jenny, I am incredibly proud of you, and I love you more than you will ever know. Please don't trip on the way up here, as you know Mom is going to be taking pictures. Students, for months, I have been pondering what words of wisdom, what pearls of profound insight I can impart upon you on this momentous occasion. Well, nothing came to mind that has not been said in thousands of other commencement addresses. So instead, I've decided to talk about something I know a little bit about: failure. And not just the ordinary daily failures of life, but the big, spectacular ones that if you live and work long enough, try hard enough, you will be lucky enough to experience, just as I have. That's right, when it comes to failure, just like a tax refund, sometimes the bigger the better. So in the next few minutes, I want to share 2 guaranteed steps to personal and professional failure. But then, just to get your parents and administrators' hearts pumping once again, I will close with several strategies to convert any failure, big or small, into genuine and even transformational growth and success. So step number 1 to failure. When you see a window of opportunity, close it, ignore it, demand a guarantee. Don't stretch yourself. Maintain the status quo. You see, I truly believe that windows of opportunity open up for us, each of us, throughout our lives, most often when we least expect them. My challenge to you is to discern them and jump through as many as you can, especially when it pushes you furthest out of your comfort zone. I promise you that you will find, although not always immediately, that these windows of opportunity will create possibilities that you may never have imagined. A personal and relevant story. In 1981, I was sitting in an HPA class taught by a very prominent professor in the program. At the end of the class, the professor approached me and asked me if I would be interested in doing a 1-credit independent study with him next semester, assisting him in a research project. He told me to think about it overnight. My first impulsive reaction was, no way. You see, I disliked the class immensely and saw this as one more barrier between me and Thursday afternoon happy hour at the Skeller. But then I thought about it, struggled with it, and decided to say yes. As it turned out, the experience was tolerable and led to a second encouragement by the same professor to consider a new fledgling graduate program in Chicago at Rush University. Well, I took that leap as well. And among so many incredible experiences that resulted from it, I met a woman named Maureen, who became my amazing wife, was gifted with 3 incredible children, each of whom are now graduates of this prestigious university, and soon will send Jenny off to pursue her graduate studies in speech pathology at, that's right, Rush University in Chicago. All of this happened because I challenged my conventional instincts and said yes to Professor Marshall Raffel back in 1981. Dr. Raffel is unfortunately no longer with us, but I'm quite certain he is listening right now. And to you, Dr. Raffel, I am deeply grateful for opening up the most important window of opportunity in my life. Step number 2 to achieving failure. When you fail, and you will fail, don't get up, stay down, give up, throw in the towel, go back home, perhaps to mom and dad. This, I fear, is where our generation may have failed you most. In many ways, we have protected you too much from the agony and the eventual ecstasy that results from failure. We used to call this helicopter parenting, hovering too close to our children, monitoring your every action. The New York Times recently dubbed a new phrase, snowplow parents, parents who will go to any length, including pushing legal and ethical boundaries, to remove obstacles so that you will never have to experience setbacks, rejection, or failure. Think of some recent celebrity stories that exemplify this behavior. Students, resiliency is a mandatory characteristic of a healthy adult. Becoming resilient results from experiencing failure, and you will experience failure, perhaps many times over. Get up, learn from the experience, reflect, persist, persevere, and you will transform and grow beyond what you thought was achievable. Another personal and relevant story about professional failure. In early 2003, I was told by my boss that my position was being eliminated and I would have to leave the organization. He told me, and I quote, I think you will be a CEO someday, but just not here. That was a tough message, the first major failure in my professional career. I was angry, frustrated, and blamed everyone I could think of. We cried as a family. And then, after what I would describe as a grieving process, I realized that I had not performed to my potential. I was often paralyzed by disappointments and challenges, and rarely trusted my instincts as a leader. I vowed to learn, grow, and persevere. Ironically, just 2 months prior to being fired, I was contacted by a search consultant who was hired to find the next chief operating officer at Nemours Alfred I. DuPont Hospital for Children. That phone call led to 15 incredible years at Nemours, where I was promoted twice. And then, yes, again I was told that I had reached my limit and would never advance further in the organization, mostly because I did not possess the right qualification of being a physician. After a similar but brief period of grieving, I decided with my wife's support to lift myself up, test the market, and see if I could fulfill my aspirations. Fast forward, on November 1st of 2018, I became CEO of one of only 30 independent children's health systems in the country. So you see, my old boss was correct in 2003. I would become a CEO, just not there. This personal story weaves together the themes I share with you today: discerning and jumping through windows of opportunity, experiencing failure, owning your mistakes and learning from them, and developing resiliency. Candidly, I had no idea at the time that these were such important lessons in life. But now, as I reflect upon my life's journey to date, I realize they are, and my hope is that many of you will ascertain them at your much younger stage in life. If you do, I promise you that your journey will be incredible. Not perfect, but incredible. Embrace it, because you are incredible. I promised your parents and administrators that I would resuscitate them. So here's the good news. Here's how you can convert genuine failure into transformational growth. Rule 1, own your mistakes. Don't shrink from them. Don't blame others. Don't point fingers. Face your mistakes. Be accountable. Learn from them and move on. Rule number 2, don't dwell on your mistakes and imperfections. Understand them and accept them. None of us are perfect, including you. Don't beat yourself up. Accept yourself and your shortcomings. They make you, you. I am very much a work in progress, and I make mistakes every single day. Don't dwell on them. Move on. And finally, rule number 3, and this is probably the hardest of them all: be grateful. Have a spirit of gratitude that you have been gifted with the opportunity to try and sometimes fail, and you learn from it. Each day, each experience, each win, and each loss, these are the things that will catalyze your personal growth and career success, and in the future, enable you to teach, coach, and mentor those who will follow you. And now in closing, in my professional life, I have helped lead organizations whose missions were devoted to caring for the elderly and, over the last 15 years, caring for children, especially those most vulnerable. Throughout that journey, and including my personal life's journey, I've come to realize what I believe is such an important truism in our world today. Society will be judged by how we treat our young and how we treat our old. Students, that is in your hands. Candidly, there are thousands of us in this arena right now that are counting on you. George Washington Carver described this powerfully when he said, and I quote, "How far you go in life depends on your being tender with the young, compassionate with the aged, sympathetic with the striving, and tolerant of the weak and strong, because someday in your life, you will have been all of these." Graduates, thank you for the honor of addressing you. I congratulate you on your accomplishments, and I wish you all the best that life can offer, including that occasional failure that will propel you to become your very best. Thank you.
Mr. Paul Kempinski. Thank you, Paul. One more time. Today, at University Park, the College of Health and Human Development is conferring 932 degrees. Graduates, we will first confer your degrees as a group, right here and now, at this point in the ceremony. Later, we'll ask you to come to the stage and be recognized individually. So we are pleased to have with us today Penn State's president to confer the degrees. I'm delighted to introduce Dr. Eric Barron.
Ladies and gentlemen, the legal corporate body of the Pennsylvania State University is its Board of Trustees. This is the body that, by our charter, is given final responsibility for the governance, welfare, and all other interests pertaining to our university. At this time, I call upon James Broadhurst, member of the Penn State Board of Trustees, to authorize the conferring of the degrees at this ceremony. Mr. Broadhurst, chairman of Eaton Park Hospitality Group, served as a member of the Penn State Board of Trustees from 1998 to 2013, including 3 years as chairman. He remains emeriti trustee. Jim is a 1965 graduate of Penn State with a BA in economics and received an MBA from the University of Pittsburgh in 1966. We are extremely pleased that he is here with us today. Mr. Broadhurst.
Thank you, Dr. Barron, and congratulations to the graduates, parents, family, and friends who are here today to celebrate this very special occasion. It's a special occasion for me as well because of family and friends who are in this graduating class and in this auditorium today. I can still remember some good advice received when sitting in your seats on this campus over 50 years ago. Work hard, but have fun. Follow your dreams, but be patient. Thank those who have supported and encouraged you along the way. Show respect and embrace humility, and give back in meaningful ways. And a favorite of my mom's, find a reason to smile and be happy every day in your life and stay grounded on your journey. I didn't get A's in all these communication behaviors or good advice, but I've never forgot them, and they have served me well. Best wishes to each one of you. Good luck and Godspeed. Now I turn to my official duty. Dr. Barron, by virtue of the authority vested in and as approved by the Board of Trustees of the Pennsylvania State University, you are authorized on behalf of the board to confer on each of these candidates the degree earned, as certified by the appropriate college faculty and dean.
Thank you, Trustee Broadhurst, for the authorization of degrees for these candidates assembled. Before we proceed to the conferral of degrees, please note that Penn State recognizes our graduates who are actively serving veterans and graduates of our ROTC programs with special red, white, and blue honor cords for their services and sacrifices. At this time, I would like to ask all graduating military and veteran students who have served our country to please stand, and if they're veterans or active service individuals in the audience, I also ask you to stand. Please stand. Thank you. Thank you for your significant contributions to our nation. I now call upon Dean Newshafer to preside over the conferring of the degrees.
Will all candidates from the College of Health and Human Development please rise? Dr. Barron, I'm pleased to present these worthy and approved candidates.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the degree you have earned in the College of Health and Human Development with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. You may now move your tassels from right to left, and congratulations.
You may now be seated. For every Penn State commencement ceremony, each college selects one student based on his or her academic achievement to serve as student marshal and represent all seniors graduating from the college. Mariana Espinosa, who will graduate today with a Bachelor's of Science degree in Biobehavioral Health, has been selected to represent her classmates in the College of Health and Human Development. She is escorted by the College of Health and Human Development Faculty Marshal, Joseph Geikus. There you are. College Marshal Mariana Espinosa of Caracas, Venezuela, is receiving a Bachelor of Science degree in Biobehavioral Health. Mariana served as a resident assistant for the Schreier's Honors College Globe Special Living Option, a community of globally minded individuals who desire to foster global awareness and international perspective. She was a supply logistics captain for Thon in 2019, a hospitality cadet for Thon in 2018, and hospitality committee member for Thon in 2016 and 2017. Mariana also served as a research assistant in the Stress, Health, and Daily Experiences Laboratory in the Department of Biobehavioral Health. A Schreier Honors Scholar, she conducted a thesis project investigating the role of weight stigma, body mass index, and sex on body projects, which is tattooing, piercing, and weight loss. She was a recipient of the President's Freshman Award, the President Sparks Award, the Evan Pugh Scholar Junior Award, and the Evan Pugh Scholar Senior Award. Graduating summa cum laude, Mariana consistently made the Dean's List. Following graduation, she plans to pursue a career as a technical recruiter. Okay. Mariana's certificate? Right here. Ah, that's the right. I didn't want to give you the wrong one. At this time, we will ask the recipients of the Bachelor of Science and Associate Science degrees to come to the stage and be recognized. We will proceed by academic major. Graduates, please bring with you the card you received. At this time, I'd like to call upon and thank our nomenclator, Dr. James Pawalczyk, who will call your name as you proceed across the stage to be recognized. So, While the day is one of joy and celebration, one of the great days in the lifetime of our graduates, their families, and friends, most of you I know have traveled many miles today to hear one name be called in a few minutes. And each name will be heard only if you hold your applause and cheers to the very end. So in consideration of everyone who's here today to honor their special graduate, please refrain from applause, cheers, noise-making, woo-hooing, until all graduates have crossed the platform. I know it's hard, but please try. Then we'll applaud the collective accomplishments of all our graduates as loudly and longly as we can. A gentle reminder to our graduates that all students are expected to remain on the floor until the conclusion of the ceremony, out of respect for their peers and the importance and dignity of this occasion. Remaining to share equally in every graduate's moment says much about who we are as a community of Penn Staters. At this time, I now introduce Professor Thomas Gold, head of the Department of Biobehavioral Health, to present the graduates of that major.
Dr. Barron, Dean Newshafer, honored guests, I am pleased to present the new graduates in biobehavioral health. Representing all biobehavioral health graduates is Student Marshal Haley Toadvine. She is escorted by Professor Elizabeth Lasher, the Faculty Marshal.
Graduates being recognized in the Department of Biobehavioral Health are David Ingwen, Sarah Manley, Kelsey Kitko, Linda Uche, Samantha Scott, Alicia Saraceno, Allison Compton, Haley Facha, Amanda Bove, Janine Ladouti, Hannah Kahn, Christina Rapone, Thomas Schmidt, Alexis Rohrbal, Brianna Song, Angela Borelli, Megan Henry, Brittany Long, Kelsey Poirier, Megan Takauchi, Aliza Keener, Emma Oldham, Michael Ukebu, Lauren Harris, Alana Davidson, Brianna Jones, Jessica Muir, Amy Fassel, Daria Jacobson, Lauren Hess, Jacob Stearns, Taylor Haddad, Megan Stunya, Amy Rabb, Shannon Hemmerly, Mason Blake, Emma Yoakum, Sierra Buney, Paige Marisik, Jessica Unell, Hannah Vandestad, Torin Lehman, Anna Erdei, Christy DiLoretto, Anne Marie White, Cassandra Klein, Jennifer Rizzo, Taylor Troutman, Jane Hatzel, Jennifer DeMuth, Lana Boyle, Kayla Buckley, Michael Nelson, Patrick Armstrong, Pamela Rutherford, Megan Stevenson, Lauren Shiflett, Carly Krantz, Rachel Smith, Allison Corey, Alexa Hoffman, Jessica Blicht, Kara Scatina, Robert Schitzberg, Lauren Cohn, Cassidy Granoff, Beverly Reynolds, Kashara Adhikari, Veronica Lentz, Catherine Pickens, Jasmine Javier, Rachel Wiggins, Christiane Cosio, Cedra Alcibe, Emily Strang, Elia Kupo, Jacqueline Lieberman, Nicole Singleton, Caitlin Stack, Varma Jamula, Casey Moody, Hong Suk Choi, Courtney Torello, Francisco Bisono, Alexandra Neighbor, Brooke Miller, Nathan Raver, Kaya Brewer, John Herr, Roman Reitzis, Taylor Evans, Jordan Bloom, Taylor Lyle, Alyssa Doremus, Amarachi Okafor, Alyssa Healy, Brianna Rothrock, Kira Foley, Jillian Barton, Emily Rice, Danielle Somerville, Kendra Reed, Lisbeth Sandoval, Joyce Sim, Demi Shaney, Alicia Murray, Bridget Hughes, Megan Barr, Jennifer Dykeman, Allison Bird, Suzanne Flick, Haley Barnhill, Haley Smith, Victoria Walsh, Whitney Cross, Aubrey Van Houten, Sarah Butler, Alexa Parlapiano, Hamani Pathak, Kajal Patel, Brianna Schools, Bethany Guillen. Jessica Thelamak. Megan James. Julia Ramirez. Emily Karpf. Harley Tripp. Tiara Taylor. Rose Michelle Romaine. Brittany Harrison. Nakia Bossier. Christian Thammer. Lauren Waller. Teresa Leitz. Kai Rose DePiano Mariak. Margaret Dwyer. Gabriella Duell. Benjamin Pira. Brian Andrushko. Maura McNulty. Danielle Crossan. Taylor Connor. Autumn Capoulier. Kristen Graff. Christina Pappy. Erica Russo. Laura Romansky. Christina Cortez. Kaylee Berman. Alyssa Land. Brianna Groninger. Emily Giroux. Brittany Fraunheiser. Emily Leimeister. Madeline Connors. Jennifer O'Neill. Courtney Pugh. Oriella Snow Baker. Monica Quinn. Joseph Kennedy. Julianne Bursner. Patrice Mondesi. Jewel Joseph. Sydney Vlasak. Sheridan Dade. Kristen Manyares. Ashley Gallagher. Katie Lawless. Dean Leva. Lauren Epley. Alyssa Formosa. Casey McDivitt. William Studley. Allison McHugh. Krista Villarosa. Stephen Driscoll. Alexa Parasano. Sarah Carter. Caitlin Fahey. Kylie Carbone. Cassandra Brannigan. Drew Gerber. Chelsea Torres. Taylor Herrera. Kylie Mashinsky. Kwaku Awosu. Jacqueline Hall. Emma Birch. Kristen West. Colleen McKenna. Marissa Cornejo. Madison Heffron. Samantha Lewis. Madison Nelson. Renee Eisenberg. Alina Fowler. Lindsay Klepchik. Samantha Turner. Michelle Chet. Deanna Villagomez Zavala. Claire Brennan. Alyssa Marucci. Joelle Gomez. Lauren Fanshaw. Stephanie Vicari. Olivia Gentileza. Peyton Bates. Sarah Dermis. Nicole Kasuda. Emily Barr. Courtney Levengood. Julie Ann Newell. Alexander Leonardi. Chelsea Danner. Paige Killian. John Blankenmeyer. Madeline Katz. Dallas Hutchinson. Jessica Tyrrell. Olivia Pigza. Maggie Crombie. Pamela de Thomas Medina. Dominique Petron. Olivia Kreider. Jensen Cousins. Monica Bedoya. Tyler Blake. Amanda Tsai. Morgan Keefe. Catherine Binyardi. Olivia Gleason. Monica Huber. Madeline Nelson. Megan Dennehy. Madeline Huffman.
I now introduce Professor Carol Miller, Professor of the Department of Communication Sciences and Disorders.
Dr. Barron, Dean Newshafer, honored guests, I'm pleased to present the new graduates in Communication Sciences and Disorders. Representing all Communication Sciences and Disorders graduates is Student Marshal Heidi Fanton. She is escorted by Professor Kelly Webb, the Faculty Marshal.
Graduates being recognized in the Department of Communication Sciences and Disorders are Andrew Tarafas, Jessica Pogust, Ilana Resnick, Julia Schwartz, Emily Sandberg, Shai Masika, Madison Peters, Demarest Kenrick, Sydney Manwiller, Gabrielle Hauser, Emily Foster, Alicia Hart, Dana Bayshore, Jane Bendorf, Olivia Perlmutter, Samara Santry, Genevieve Fishman, Brooke DeDono, Kristen Corey, Rachel Adelsheimer, Madeline Turner, Haley Mirkoff, Jessica Singer, Danielle Moyet, Carla Armendariz, Kirsten Klingenberg, Maya Elter, Catherine Lee, Kayla Prawn, Stephanie Harvey, Amy Hines, Casey Ellsworth, Megan McGrath, Elisa Plasinic, Michaela Deek, Morgan Lang, Allison Guth, Madeline Dulac, Grace Wigand, Kathleen Coggins, Brooke Schaefer, Julia Sanelli, Olivia Fearon, Michelle McFimon, Kristen Cretu, Olivia Lewandowski, Hannah O'Neill, Jenna Jansen, Claire O'Rourke, Jennifer Kempinski, Morgan Herber, Kelly McDonald, Pauline Drummond, Dakota Kerr, Mara Rocktashel, Lauren Angelo, Vienna Coe, Alyssa Bartkus, Aaron McIntosh, Nicole Zimmerman, Elizabeth Robertson, Kylie Capella, Rawan Al-Lawati, Carly Bankert, Veronica Baez, Alexis Kirby, Ariana Rivera, Rylan Temple, Nicole Yannick, Marala McCary, Erica Harrison Ellis L., Julia Williams, Kayla Schwartz, Kristen Melnick, Madison Kovalik, Alexander Kutsombis, Vivian Stamos, Lauren Costa, Mason Hosek, Alea DeTillo, Madison Speaker, Nora Hopkins, Emily Taylor, Rachel Fegley, Taylor Twohi, Amanda Sibley, Brianna Coral, Emily Smith, McKenna Schulte, Bassam Al-Shamari, Cara Jablonka, Allison Stern, Caroline Rizia, Juliana Quattrone, Alana Pascali, Chrisanne Schaub, Nadia Hashimenejad, Megan Smeltzer, Haley Wyckoff. Amanda Miller. Jessica Mazzola. Kirsty Malinchuk. Lauren Levine. Jessica Porter. J.C. Adamski.
I now introduce Professor Christopher Hollenbeek, Head of the Department of Health Policy and Administration.
Dr. Barron, Dean Newshafer, honored guests, I am pleased to present the new graduates in Health Policy and Administration. Representing all Health Policy and Administration graduates is Student Marshal Caitlin Hoster. She is escorted by Professor Christina Daly, the Faculty Marshal.
Graduates being recognized in the Department of Health Policy and Administration are Tiffany Abramson, De'Ara Peoples, Olivia Durkin, Allison Peisner, Holly Frick, Ethan Ezrati, Lucy Hobbled, Erica Christensen, Chimerajem Chinatu, Kelly Parkins, Andrew Jasper Cannon, Kayla Nadeau, Alexis Miller, Nicholas Spack, Casey Horning, Zachary Poletis, Michael Pillell, Andrea Ammerman, Alyssa Gift, Deanna Argetta, Nicholas Margay, Sarah Oswald, Sydney Carlton, Justin Check, Jake Farang, Scott Katz, Joshua Maurer, Mackenzie Masters, Gianna Piacentino, Julia Rocchio, Paul Sorbo, John Gursky, James Holler, Tyler Crane, Alec Christie, Francesca Racky, Daniel Clapper, Alexa Weidman, Janelle Blair, Elena Borland, Natalie Crossan, Nicole Oravak, Sam Zaccaro, Kinjal Ben Patel, Brittany Ulisi, Tamilolo Lua Ogunmoyan, Ademelola Bedeo, Patrick Spurlock, Emily Huber, Alexis Heil, Gianna Zangara, Elizabeth Good, Annalise Pilatovsky, Monica Pastel, Jordan Lindsay, Judith Jean Pierre, Paige Ahern, Nicholas Delano, Sarah Wright, Terrence Knox, Nicole Folino, Claire Messina, Casey Raposa Agnello, Tyler Bubin, April Lara Flores, Caitlin Ark, Courtney Strands, Robert Sakunis, Thomas Demon, Esteban Osorio, Bryce Moser, Eric D'Amata, Zoe Maley, Paige Segrist, Danielle Wilco, John Gorman, Jared Skoll, Alexis LaBelle, Katie Hernandez, Andrea Lovato, Kelly Magri, Sarah Holtz, Alyssa Samborski, Natalie Scott, Dana Graham, Lillian Defus, Haley Bauer, Yin Ing Ruan, Joelle Smith, Jasmine O'Brien, Khadijatu Ba, Morgan Parker, Deanna DiNapoli, Madeline Nichols, Aaron Bradley, Tara Gallagher, Ronald Charno, Jacqueline Fico, Beryl Bannerman, Gabriella Mistichelli, Sophie Greenstein, Samantha McIntyre, Allison Marr, Darren Shuck, Gabrielle Lombardo, Robert Fenstermacher, Yesenia Kano, Matthew Gertz, Jason Shokrian, Fiona York,
I now introduce Professor Donna Quadrifoletti, Director of the School of Hospitality Management.
Dr. Barron, Dean Newshafer, honored guests, I am delighted to present the new graduates in Hospitality Management and Hotel, Restaurant, and Institutional Management. Representing all our Hospitality Management and Hotel, Restaurant, and Institutional Management graduates is Student Marshal Nicole Harker. She is escorted by Professor William Kidd, the Faculty Marshal.
Graduates being recognized in the School of Hospitality Management are Whitney Richter, Blake Zerby, Noah Lederer, Brian Long, Lauren Gerstel, Michael Adams, Liana Pietracatello, Brandon Greb, Rebecca Feta, Lindsay Giannetti, Olivia Jamie Kavanaugh, Carly Elias, Nicole Clark, Brooke Fleischacker, Stephanie Jusio, Jenna Pekinich, Sabrina Scher, Joseph Young, Heather Wyant, Danielle Deal, Alyssa Hamady, Madeline Walsack, Jordan Kamut, Taylor Mayer, Zhou Fan Lin, Wei Shan Zhang, Julia Egan, Erica Cristiano, Jenna Stein, Melissa Goldstein, Brooke Caden, Madison Roth, Ian Jones, Madison Ritchie, Margaret Nostrand, Aaron Leet, Rebecca Lukács, Wei Ling Lau, Yong Zhu Shin, Anjui Chen, Shiyu Ru, Ing Tan Bui, Si Xiao Zi, David Stauffer, Cheng Yun Lu, Chin Chan Han, Ji Wei Ri, Run Ji Zhang, Hong Lin Shuang, Meng Chi Feng, Zhu Zhi Zhou, Devin Bradham, Donald James III, Nicholas Poto, Thomas Krieger, David Solano, James Montemarano Jr., Amy Gaughan, Kaylee Gunderman, Jonna Fiorelli, Vivek Shahani, Chris Cavaline, Zachary Williams. Raymond Chen. Jia Yu Wang. Nan Jijing Zhang. Zhao Zhuan Shui. Jing Shu. Chen Yang Wang. Hao Chang Shi. Jie Wang. Jin He Shen. Stephen Polis. Lin Han Zhu. Jing Dong. Jing Hao Fu. Yan Peng Chu. Wen Han Song. Stephanie Schwer. Keir Degnan. Antoinette Russell. Arden Imbergia. Belinda Dong. Laura Hasia Villalgil. Emily Baumberger. Sasha DeBillis. Elena Jenkins. Kelly Severcool. Patrick Harner. Cordell Curtis. Noah Bender. Ross Greenberg. Yenny Chu. Jessica Chahan. Kelly Ross. Austin Wenzel. Tristan Girick. Rachel Smaller. Taylor Fellman. Haley Schneider. John Ramos Madril. Ellen Finnis. Catherine Rupp. Nicole Kramer. Rebecca Ho. Maeve Hennigan. Enrique Armas.
I now introduce Professor Douglas Teddy, Head of the Department of Human Development and Family Studies.
Dr. Barron, Dean Newshafer, honored guests. I'm pleased to present the new graduates in Human Development and Family Studies. Representing all Human Development and Family Studies graduates is Sarah Banasinski. She is escorted by Professor Cynthia Stifter, the faculty marshal.
Graduates being recognized in the Department of Human Development and Family Studies are Bridget Nellis, Abigail Reese, Elena Robbins, Rebecca Carlin, Marcella Fiorenzi, Insaf Sidnor, Alexis Zuccaro, Sarah Keene, Grace Ward, Alexandra Schreiber, Haley Cohen, Jessica Rodelli, Amanda Bright, Samantha Rafelson. Elena Hedgebeth. Sabrina Garcia. Carolyn Stacks. Yoon Ha Kim. Abby Sachs. Sydney Moskowitz. Emily Worthington. Elizabeth Connors Koss. Kimberly Richards. Wen Xuan Shou. Catherine Shields. Lorelei Wilkie. Emma Wiener. Emily Markowitz. Kristen Ninoski. Virginia Bramley. Kayla Lavecchio. Matilda Kulik. Brooke Shirey. Hannah Cicero. Gianna Scartelli. Jane Persaud. Caitlin Bailey. Amber Herlock. Kelly McCready. Maureen Hennigan. Anton Porter. Rachel Bolden. Catherine Doherty. Lindsay Jones. Gabriella Laurentino. Emily Shriver. Kanako Tadaro. Sophia Amarillo. Danielle Gonzalez. Leah McLynch. Amber Clatcher. Olivia Smith. Danielle Brewy. Rachel Evans. Gabrielle McMenamin. Elizabeth Pendice. Christina McCracken. Michael Trong. Elizabeth Waugh. Ellie Segan.
I now introduce Professor Nancy Williams, head of the Department of Kinesiology.
Dr. Barron, Dean Noshafer, and honored guests, I'm pleased to present the new graduates in athletic training. Representing all athletic training students is Student Marshal Joshua Zimmerman. He is escorted by Faculty Marshal John Viro.
Graduates being recognized in athletic training are Matthew Zaremba. Andre Lika Soltis. Michael Miller. Michael Palm. Aaron Milford. Patrick Jurovitz. Patrick Swartz. Alexandra Key. Brandon Glunt. Christian Corcoran. Matthew Split. Benjamin Pazachanix. Kelsey Silaya. Kara Shudlopsky. Brenna Rubenstein. Alex Miller. Elizabeth Niels. Rosemary O'Halloran. Cassandra Ferdinand. Ashley Struble.
Dr. Barron, Dean Newshafer, and honored guests, I'm pleased to present the new graduates in kinesiology. Representing all kinesiology graduates is Student Marshal Michael Healy. He is escorted by Faculty Marshal Christopher Bob.
Graduates being recognized in the Department of Kinesiology are Chad Zellman, Zach Richard, Lauren DeMayo-Rebus, Emily Malloy, Caroline Gockenbach, Sierra Strickland, Julie DeSassi, Kelsey Hyde, Samantha Andrikanek, Sahari Ayala, Matthew Pavelko Fox, James Kaufman, Taylor Nargoski, Haley Clement, Caitlin Iannini, Gregory Smith, Sarah Mong, Sydney Pennick, Xavier Murray, Ryan Mason, Jessica Jones, Christopher Sands, Catherine Dembrowski, Wyatt Tyndall, Blake Hodgins, Krista Barbeau, Lillian Fisher, Grace Sand-Lawin, Tyler Simola, Dylan Handrahan, Evan Seeby, Arthur Minahan, Joseph Mace, Martin Sedlock, Nicholas Keller, Jana Wood, Gianna Salmon, Ryan Barnick, Philip Forsyth, Mark Grandinetti, Joshua Gabry, Nicholas Henry, Cameron Ongst, Ashley Husser, Kyle Hamilton, Jason Veronic, Aaron Heinz, Emily O'Toole, Julia Baccio, Michael Jason. Riccardo Valerani. Morgan Turchetta. Aaron Workinger. Jennifer Wells. Stephanie Carr. Tara Percival. Rachel Harnish. Min Tang. Sabrina Fang. Robert Larimer. Janelle Rothaker. Ian Malbeck. Zachary DiCarlo. Yu Chen Sun. Melanie Rios. Sarah Higgins. Sarp Ate. Ian Vernon. Isaiah Harris. Sarah Hanson. Jaden Allen. Kennedy Stout. Summers Moyer. Gregor Dudiak. Emily Seibert. Brittany Rementer. Maria Tukis. Levi Renninger. Avery Reel. Lane Monkovich. John Arnold. Rachel Pittman. Rachel Murphy. Samantha Potts. Rebecca Swaney. Jordan Napkora. Joy Douglas. Daniel Placco. Stephanie Galetta. Cassidy McCullough. Matthew Rodriguez. Sarah Allen. Samantha Rowley. Sarah Neff. Blair Liska. Olivia Bodie. Megan McPaul. Taylor Foster. Trevor Brumbaugh. Hannah Ellingsworth. Courtney Spurlock. Kayla Wright. Jacob Heiser. Isaiah Turner. Victor Taylor. Kyle Young. Nashay Bay. Nicholas DeMarcus. Samantha Verga. James Miller. Jessica Larry. Samuel Gold. David Brubaker. Brooke Zabady. Matthew Lyons. Kelsey Crum. Alicia Lenz. Samantha DeMarco. Lucas Elliott. Aaron Holt. Madison Scullion. Carly Campbell. Christopher Stein. Mariah Dragato. John Lee. Jonathan Peck. Grace Redmond. Jacob Lansbury. Nicole Williamson. Rebecca Vero. Kelly Fitzpatrick. James Ford. Austin Zelko. Carly Blanchard. Marina Castelluzzo. Joseph Rafferty. Abby Grunden. Ji-Hua Zhou. Andrew Roble. Amaka Ochere. Jordan Smithberger. Marissa Chiauzi. Matthew Suchanek. Stephen Ross. Andrew Oneglia.
I now introduce Professor Catherine Ross, head of the Department of Nutritional Sciences.
Dr. Barron, Dean Neuschafer, honored guests, I am pleased to present the new graduates in nutritional sciences. Representing all nutritional sciences graduates is Student Marshal Cameron McCabe, and she is escorted by Professor Brenda Eisenstadt, the Faculty Marshal.
Graduates being recognized in the Department of Nutritional Sciences are Brandon Dumont, Patricia Carucci, Mackenzie Lombardi, Paris Winston, Madison Galacio, Claire Pomarski, Valerie Snell, Casey Davidson, Caitlin Hancock, Daniel Gamble, Victoria Dahl, Allison Bogari, Nei Wen Ji, Ji Huang, Wan Xu, Saiful Anwar bin Sengar, Brianna Jones, Tala Atia, Christian Jocham, Danielle Burrows, Olivia Benjamin, Megan Ross, Maren Negelberg, Ray Anjou, Heather Forch, Amanda Goldenear, Jenna Gambita, Corinne Roman White, Daniel Yim, Kyle Trexler, Jennifer Choi, Elena Pepper, Melanie Lewis, Amanda Egri, Maytal Bowman, Jillian Cherry, Craig McCloskey, Bo Wen Zhang, Chuck Louis, Mingyu Xu, Yuran Song, Xingqi Wang, Din Shen Ji, Zhishuan Chu, Samantha Kalina, Emily Wallace, Hannah DeGroot, Addison Lindberg, Sina D'Amico, Lauren Miller, Lauren Weeder, Kimberly Gaskill, Marissa Licalizi, Samantha Rimdika, Kerrigan King-T, Morgan McGee, Marcy Jacob, Leah Kisner, Abigail Stoltz, Brooke Beisman, Megha Parthasarathi, Janelle Muller, Brianna Pruden, Sarah Domino, Abigail Jollis, Marguerite Catanzaro, Grace Thomas, Mackenzie Minotti, Samantha Leone, Gabriela Salazar,
I now introduce Professor Peter Newman, head of the Department of Recreation, Parks, and Tourism Management.
Dr. Barron, Dean Newshafer, and honored guests, I'm now pleased to present the new graduates in Recreation, Park, and Tourism Management. Representing all Recreation, Park, and Tourism Management graduates is Student Marshal Heidi Erb. She's escorted by Professor Patty Kleben, the Faculty Marshal.
Graduates being recognized in the Department of Recreation, Park, and Tourism Management are Tyler Odell, Ryan Beek, Daniel Skudlapski, Jing Gao, Emma Sheehan, Rachel Inglesino, Jessica Saluday, Zachary Moyer, Alexandra Hayward, Jonathan Solomano, Sam Harmon, William Pollard, Grace Mannix, Hannah Durant, Alicia Canizaro, Reynolds Parthmore, Nicholas Carafellis, Kathleen McGrady, Jacob Castles, Tyler Shoup, Daniel Paris, Annabelle Pena, Thomas Leach, Brandon Grebs, Sean Phillips, John Elliott, Samuel Funk, Gunther Kassel, Shannon Lamana, Sidney Corelli, Taylor Apperson, Sarai Pressman, Christine Latterer, Joseph Deegan, Ryan Miranda, Kelly Richter, Michael Pulley, Leanne Rich, Chelsea Deal, Samantha Corsello, Brianna Godoy, Bethany Lambert, Nicholas Familetti, Alexander McCord, Lind Metzler, Christina Platt, Matthew Whiteman, Sean Cannon, Rachel Salata, Lexi Arnold, Jordan Mitchell, Jack Gay, Michael Baez, Addie Hurwitz, Jesse Vidrio Toes, Jacob Babylon. Thank you.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you've figured out, this concludes the recognition of our graduating students. I guess we got a minute for one more round of congratulations to the graduates of the College of Health and Human Development. At this time, Dr. Dennis Shea, Associate Dean for Undergraduate Studies and Outreach, will make some remarks. Dr. Shea?
If you turn your attention to the commencement program, there you'll find students identified who are graduating with scholastic distinction based upon their academic work. Upon completion of grades for spring semester, additional names will be added to this list. Diplomas have this academic achievement noted on the official document. This group is made up of students who have completed the required number of credits and who are in the top 12% of their graduating class in their college. The 12% is divided into the top 2%, summa cum laude, the next 4%, magna cum laude, and the next 6%, cum laude. Students who are graduating summa cum laude are wearing a blue and white cord. Students who are graduating magna cum laude are wearing a blue cord, and students who are graduating cum laude are wearing a white cord. Please hold your applause while I recognize students in all three categories. Will those students who are graduating summa cum laude please rise and remain standing? Will those students who are graduating magna cum laude please rise and remain standing? And will those students who are graduating cum laude please rise and remain standing? Congratulations and best wishes for your continuing excellence. You may be seated. As a land-grant institution, Penn State is chartered to offer the opportunity for training in the military service. And at Penn State, we have programs in the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines. Will all graduates of the Pennsylvania State University Reserve Officer Training Corps please rise? Dr. Barron, Dean Newshafer, honored guests, it is a privilege for me to present our graduate of the Reserve Officer Training Corps as officers who were trained in the Armed Forces of the United States.
On behalf of Penn State University, thank you and congratulations.
Now it is my privilege and pleasure to recognize a truly special group present today whose excellence in teaching and dedication to the creative accomplishment and research make our university one of the best in the nation. I'm talking about the faculty of Penn State. Would members of the faculty please rise and remain standing? On behalf of the university, our graduating students, I thank you for the high standards you've established for yourselves and your students, your dedication to teaching, to research and to scholarship, and the care with which each of you mentor the intellect, professional development, and personal growth of our students. Round of applause for the faculty. Thank you. Please be seated. So before we conclude the ceremony, there is one more group that deserves some special recognition, I think. That would be parents, grandparents, spouses, children, and other family members and friends. All have contributed greatly toward the achievements being celebrated today. Your sacrifice, your understanding, your support have all helped the graduates to attain their educational goals. It takes special commitment, and I know that you have worked hard to get here today as well. So would the family members and friends of graduates please stand? There's a moment to get up so that the graduates can join me in thanking you for all and everything you've done for our graduates. Thank you. You may be seated. Earlier in the ceremony, you met Trustee Broadhurst, who's here not only as a trustee, but also to represent the Penn State Alumni Association. Mr. Broadhurst?
Thank you, Dean Newshafer. Congratulations, graduates. The Penn State Alumni Association celebrates your successes and welcomes you into a proud network of Penn Staters. Your Alumni Association is powered by pride. More than 174,000 alumni and friends like you keep their connection to our world-class university strong through membership in the Penn State Alumni Association. Today, on behalf of the Alumni Association, I am honored and delighted to share our graduation gift to you, a one-year free membership in the Penn State Alumni Association. Your membership keeps you in touch with Penn State and connects you with more than 300 geographically dispersed alumni, chapters, interest groups, and college and campus societies. No matter where you live, what you've studied, or which campus you attended, we have a group that matches your interests. After graduation, once you are settled, reach out to your local Penn State alumni chapter. Your Penn State family will be happy to hear from you. And in the coming years, when you visit Penn State, we hope you will enjoy your time on campus and stop by the Hintz Family Alumni Center at University Park. With that, we would like to ask our new graduates to please rise. Would all other Penn State alumni here today please rise as well? It gives me great pleasure. It gives me great pleasure to induct all graduating students of the Penn State University into the Penn State Alumni Association. Congratulations. Please be seated.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we end our commencement ceremonies today, we'll be led in the singing of the Alma Mater by Sadie Spivey. The audience is asked to join in the singing. The words can be found in the front of the commencement program. Students should remain standing during the recessional and then be seated until you are dismissed by row. Please exit the Bryce Jordan Center to meet family members outside as guests for the next ceremony will be arriving. So everyone, please stand for the Alma Mater.